everyone? Welcome back to the Strong.Sistas YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm just going to give a brief update as to what our current nutrition strategy is, since we've been receiving a lot of questions from YouTube like, oh my god, the Strong.Sistas aren't full carnivore anymore. They've added in carbs. Yes, we have. But before getting there, make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button below. And if you aren't already, make sure you are following us on Instagram at Strong.Sistas. We are a lot more active on our Instagram story, and we post some full days of eating every few days on our Instagram story. So make sure you guys check us out there. Before diving in, very important, so I have my serious shades on. Listen up. We are not anti-keto. We are not anti-carnivore. We are not pro-vegan. We are pro doing what's best for you. We are anti-diet dogma. We are anti-blindly taking diet rules and applying them to your life, because something that works for an older male is not necessarily going to work for a female in her 20s who's trying to be fertile. There's literally no way that those diets will work the same for someone. We are pro finding and experimenting an approach that works for you. So back to our current nutrition strategy. So yes, we have added in carbs. So if we flash back about 5 months ago, Sarah and I finally made the decision to address our amenorrhea. We were having some hormonal problems and we were both not having our period. Now, I have had amenorrhea for 10 plus years. Sarah had it for about 4 years. So it wasn't necessarily keto or carnivore that caused the amenorrhea. We just took a step back and realized that being zero carb, being low carb was no longer serving us. So we made the decision to add carbs back into our diet with the main goal of getting our periods back. We also stopped fasting, which was another stressor and could potentially be causing some hormonal problems. And we stopped exercising as much as we did. So we made some pretty big nutrition and lifestyle changes. So since Sarah has regained her period, I am still sitting here patiently waiting for the return of my period, but I have seen some positive changes that to me indicate that I'm on my way, hopefully, to getting my period. So hopefully that returns soon. Back to our current nutrition strategy. So we do not deny the power of animal-based nutrition. I think going carnivore, that was one of the best things that we learned, was not consuming animal products is just silly, because that's the most bioavailable nutrients that you can find on this planet, especially with a depleted soil. So a lot of the produce just doesn't simply have the same nutrient level as it did X years ago. So we still consume a lot of animal products for our fats and our proteins. So for our protein, we're still consuming muscle meats, we're still consuming a lot of organs, and we are eating our oysters. You getting your oysters in? You eating your oysters? Oysters are a great source of copper. You should definitely eat your oysters, okay? Get your oysters in. So we're still getting our superfoods in, right? So we're still having liver every single day, incorporating oysters a few times a week, cycling through different organs such as beef heart, beef tongue, pancreas. Give them all to me. They all have a unique set of nutrients. So we're not, that part of our diet has not thrown away, because that is the most bioavailable nutrients that you can find. And then in addition to muscle meat, we still think that it's very important to balance the methionine with some glycine in these collagen sources of animal protein, such as bone broth. We make some homemade gummies every day because we make those gummies out of gelatin. So we're trying to consume both muscle meat and then also balance it with those collagen sources as well. We're also still consuming raw animal fat sources, so raw dairy, like raw cheese, raw milk, raw butter, and then also suet and raw bone marrow. So many powerful nutrients in those, but we've decided to add in carbohydrates. So we're not consuming as many fats as we were before, and we've instead added in some carbohydrates that are easy to digest and really make us feel really good sources. So we're not here just sminging a bunch of raw spinach. No, we are choosing to get our carbohydrates in from raw honey, fruit. We'll have squashes, maybe one meal a day, such as butternut squash or delicata squash. And then we will incorporate some starchier carbs in from time to time, such as potatoes, some sweet potatoes, because those are things that we enjoy. But I have noticed that I feel better with kind of consuming my carbohydrates from raw milk. Milk has some carbohydrates in it, raw honey and fruits. I feel really good with combining those with protein sources. So we are choosing to have all three macronutrients, definitely higher in carbs. In no way are we low fat. We're not advocates of low fat. I think that that's silliness. So I think our nutrition strategy can kind of be described as like a blend of like Weston A Price principles, where he's a huge fan of raw animal fat sources for those vitamins A, D, K2. And then also some Peat principles, such as like the easy to digest carbohydrates, balancing the muscle meat with some collagen sources. So a blend of nutrition strategies that are really working for us. I think that it's silly that we can think that just one human can be right about everything and provide a diet that works for every single human on this planet. I think that that's just silly, and we were really trapped in dogma for a long time, and really just had to take a step back and reflect on whether our current lifestyle choices and nutrition strategies were really working for us at that moment in time. And now we kind of have this willingness to evolve as our life changes, because what's working right now is there's no way that that will work like a year from now, 2 years from now, with different goals, different environmental stressors. So I think it's always important to just evaluate your health based on your current goals and be willing to evolve as your goals and your life changes. So as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I am noticing some positive changes with my current nutrition and lifestyle changes. One of those things that I have seen is an increase in body temperature. So every morning I am measuring my waking body temperature with a digital basal thermometer. So this just has 2 sig figs. So rather than just giving you like 96, it gives you like 96.55. So when I started 5 months ago, this was right after adding in carbs, my waking body temperature was like 96.55 or 96.5 was like my average. And that's pretty low. And I think that that was indicative that I've had some thyroid issues in addition to my hormonal problems. So now fast forward to 5 months and my average waking temperature is about 97.5, which is like a full degree up. So that's what I mean by like positive changes that I'm seeing. This morning, I had a high body temperature, the highest body temperature I've ever had, waking 97.98. And so I think a higher body temperature is indicative that my thyroid is functioning better. And it could be that I'm potentially ovulating. I don't know. It has to have a few days of higher body temperature. But I think that using like waking body temperature is a great way to evaluate whether your current nutrition strategies and your current lifestyle choices are moving you closer to your goal. So I definitely recommend getting something like this. It's really easy to track. So this nutrition strategy change definitely started with our goal of fixing our hormones. We were definitely afraid that like our autoimmune symptoms would return, but none of those have. And I think it's just because we're approaching nutrition totally different than what we were like 5 years ago, when we were high carb, but we were eating a lot of processed carbohydrates, a lot of refined grains, and we still had a lot of vegetable oils and in our diet. And so totally different now, where we're animal-based and then we're incorporating these easy to digest carbs. And I honestly feel really, really good. I feel really balanced with my life. I have zero urges of binging. I don't have cravings, and I think it's just because I'm like nourishing my body every single day, and I'm providing my body with what it actually wants. And all of you guys deserve some sort of nutrition strategy. I'm not saying that it will look like mine. I think everyone's diet will look different. You all deserve one that allows it to be sustainable for you all year round, so that you don't have binges and periods of binging and then restricting, binging, restricting. I think that that's kind of a sign that something really isn't working for you, and maybe trying something new would work out. So that pretty much wraps up today's video. If you guys have any questions about our nutrition strategy, make sure you hit them in the comments below, and we will do a live stream eventually to kind of address these questions and for you guys to ask us more as to like, what the heck are you ladies doing? But until our next video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and behave like an angel.